And here we go. It's another week, another day, another group of studs visiting Auburn. Monday's practice. Here's just Monday in the middle of March. And who shows up finally? Not finally, because Demarcus Riddick, but he'd been on some list prior to Monday's list, but had to reschedule. He finally made it to campus Monday. Cole, you talked to Demarcus Riddick, the 4-star linebacker from Chilton County, who is committed to the Bulldogs. What do you think?
Well, I know why you're asking me, because I'm the guy that put in the prediction for Demarcus Riddick.
You talked to him.
I did. I also talked to him. And
yeah. You can't read my mind.
I've said this a few times now, and I truly believe that this is not an Auburn-Georgia battle. This is not an Alabama-Georgia battle. This is an Auburn-Georgia-Alabama battle. I think all three teams, even though he's committed to Georgia, are very close to even. Maybe Georgia has the edge right now because he is committed to them. Does he stay committed to them in the end? Personally, I don't think so. Okay, I think he ends up at one of the in-state schools. That's my gut feeling on this. Not just that. I've talked to several people who would have a clue, okay? And, he loves Chilton County where he's from. He loves Clanton, Alabama, the small-town deal, which is what hit him at Auburn's junior day not too long ago. So he finally gets back on campus. He tells me everything's, pretty much status quo to how it went that time. He got more treatment maybe than even Fat Burnett got at the junior day, just how it went that day. Josh Aldridge is his guy. We saw Josh Aldridge at the junior day, greeting all of his guys at the front door, even guys that weren't his. He was greeting people, right? So he took a step forward with Demarcus Riddick that day. I think Ron Roberts is a big deal there too, because he does coach the Jacks, and they've talked to Riddick about being a multi-guy, inside or Jack. I think he likes that. He loves the scheme. He loves that Josh Aldridge ran Ron Roberts' scheme at Liberty when he was the defensive coordinator or co-defensive coordinator. So a lot of things working for Auburn, in my opinion. But Alabama's in there too. Don't get me wrong. Georgia still got a chance to sign him in the end. I'm not making an ultimatum, but I just think he ends up at one of the in-state schools.
Fair enough. Was it him who said, "I'll be back 2 more times"? We've talked to so many kids, and I've read so many recruiting updates.
I think he was one of them that said that.
I think he said A-Day. I think he was a possibility for A-Day, and official visit seems likely too.
Okay.
So.
It wasn't him, because the guy I was thinking of, we talked to in person, and he was like, "I'll be back." I think it might have been Ryan Williams.
He was one of them, yeah. He was going to be back on the 27th.
Yeah.
And then
for A-Day.
Of course, I think he's at Alabama on Thursday.
Sure.
He is.
Hey, I got some good news and bad news on Riddick. So I'll give you the bad first. Georgia's linebacker room, they think, may be better than it's ever been. With these young guys, Raylan Wilson and the other guy, they got some young studs. So the bad news is Georgia probably ain't going anywhere for a while.
Sure.
The good news, though, may be that it's a pretty crowded room there.
I was going to say, what's the bad news? If that's the bad news.
Well, the bad news is
we already knew they were going to be good, Keith.
I don't want to play those guys. I don't know. But that could be twofold here. One, the linebacker room may be really crowded, and two, does that play to Auburn's edge? Does that play to is that something Auburn? Hey, look, you're not going to have to sit behind this guy or that guy. You're going to have to play. Now, everybody's a little different. An offensive lineman may be scared by something like that, right? But a linebacker, probably a stud linebacker like this guy, and he's legit, everybody says, probably ain't too scared about that. So
I don't know how much that's good stuff, because I was going to say, I don't know how much this affects the linebackers of the 2024 class, but let's not forget to mention that Auburn has lost 2 to the transfer portal this week in Cameron Brown and Desmond Tisdale. Yeah. Again, I don't know if that would affect him directly, any of the guys in 2024. Jay,
I think it does to a degree, because we had to get, from a numbers standpoint, we had 10 guys in that room, and 6 of them all had 2 years of eligibility left. We still have 4 that have 2 years of eligibility left. So you still got a little bit of a logjam at the top, but it's much more layered now than it was. And I think it's appealing to a guy that's going to come in and only have to sit maybe behind a guy for a year. because if you're that top heavy, well, what's to prohibit you from being a real difference maker as a redshirt freshman or even a true sophomore? So I think it does make a difference to a degree. It's one less person in the way. But a guy like Demarcus Riddick, given his talent, I think he's a guy that plays on special teams day one, and he's somebody that's potentially working into your 2 deep by the end of your first year. I firmly believe that he's that talented of a player.